2025, a year that shook the world, especially because of the intense conflict between India and Pakistan. It all started with a horrific terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, where innocent lives were lost. This tragedy sparked a chain of events that led to a military showdown between two nuclear-powered neighbors. India called it Operation Sindoor, a bold strike against terrorist camps in Pakistan. Pakistan hit back, claiming they were defending their land. But here's where it gets messy. Pakistan said they shot down 5 to 6 Indian fighter jets. India claimed they wiped out every major terrorist camp linked to groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed.
Operation Sindoor was launched by Indian Armed Forces. 9 terrorist camps were targeted and successfully destroyed.
On social media, both countries were shouting, "We won!" Pakistani posts celebrated their military's response, while Indian posts hailed their precise attacks. News outlets, from CNN to Al Jazeera, reported different versions of the story. Some said India took heavy losses. Others said Pakistan's claims were exaggerated. So, who really won the war? Was it India, with its targeted strikes, or Pakistan, with its counterattacks? Did anyone win at all? Or was this just another sad chapter in a long rivalry? Today, we're diving deep into what happened, using independent sources to separate fact from fiction. We'll look at what both sides did, what they claimed, and what the world saw. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of who came out on top and why. So, stick with us. Before we begin, please hit that like button, as it helps YouTube show this important video to more and more people. Let's start with the facts. On April 22, a brutal terrorist attack happened in Pahalgam, a peaceful tourist spot in Jammu and Kashmir. 26 civilians, mostly Hindu tourists, were killed by gunmen armed with M4 carbines and AK-47. The Resistance Front, TRF, linked to Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, initially claimed responsibility, but later backtracked, saying their communications were hacked. India pointed fingers at Pakistan, accusing them of supporting terrorism. Pakistan denied it, calling the attack a false flag by India.
Pahalgam incident was a false flag operation.
2 weeks later, on May 7, India launched Operation Sindoor.
Operation Sindoor,
a 23-minute missile and drone strike targeting 9 sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The Indian government said these were focused, measured, and non-escalatory strikes aimed at terrorist infrastructure, not Pakistani military or civilian sites. The targets included Sawai Nala Camp, a Lashkar-e-Taiba training center, Syedna Bilal Camp, a Jaish-e-Mohammed staging area for weapons and explosives training, Gulpur Camp, a Lashkar-e-Taiba base active in Rajouri and Poonch attacks, Barnala Camp, a weapons and jungle survival training site for Lashkar-e-Taiba, and 5 more centers like this. India claimed over 100 terrorists were killed, including key figures like Jamil, a Jaish-e-Mohammed leader, and Mudassar Qadian Khas of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Pakistan, however, said the strikes hit civilian areas, including mosques, killing 31 civilians, including women and children. After that, Pakistan retaliated on May 7 with mortar shelling in Jammu, especially Poonch, killing 12 civilians and damaging homes. On May 8-9, Pakistan launched drone attacks, claiming to have shot down 48 Indian drones.
And taking on incoming drones or Pakistani missiles.
India countered with more drone strikes, destroying a Pakistani air defense radar in Lahore. Washington Post reported on May 8 that Indian strikes damaged a Pakistani airbase, though Pakistan denied this. Tensions peaked until May 10, when a ceasefire was announced, reportedly brokered by US President Donald Trump via a post on Truth Social. Pakistan credited Trump, but India insisted the agreement was direct. Both sides accused each other of violating the ceasefire, The conflict saw heavy propaganda on social media, with fake videos and unverified claims flying around. By May 12, a fragile peace held, but the question remained: who won? Pakistan's narrative was loud and clear. They were the victims of an unprovoked attack. Their government claimed India's Operation Sindoor on May 7 hit civilian areas, not terrorist camps. Pakistan also claimed a big win in the skies. They said their forces, using Chinese-made J-10C jets and PL-15 missiles, shot down 5 Indian fighter jets on May 7. 3 Rafale jets, 1 MiG-29, and 1 Sukhoi 30, mostly over Indian-administered Kashmir. A French intelligence official told CNN that 1 Rafale was indeed downed, but India didn't confirm this. Pakistani media, like Dawn, celebrated their military's response, saying they hit Indian military targets and downed 77 Indian drones by May 9. However, independent outlets like Al Jazeera couldn't verify Pakistan's claims about the jets. No solid evidence, like clear wreckage photos, was shared to back up the jet claims. The New York Times noted that while 2 Indian aircraft reportedly crashed, the reasons were unclear, and Pakistan's claim of 5 jets lacked confirmation. Pakistan's narrative rallied domestic support, but without hard proof, many claims were questioned by global media. Now, let's talk about India's side and why they believe they came out on top and they won the war. India's goal in Operation Sindoor was clear: destroy terrorist infrastructure linked to groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and Hizbul Mujahideen, which they blamed for the Pahalgam attack. India wanted to send a message that no terrorist camp was safe, no matter how deep inside Pakistan. On May 7, they hit 9 key sites. Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh said the strikes killed at least 100 terrorists, including senior leaders like Yusuf Azhar of Jaish-e-Mohammed. Satellite images from Maxar Technologies showed clear damage to these sites, confirming India's claims of precision. India's military strategy was to avoid hitting Pakistani military bases or civilian areas to keep things from spiraling into a full-blown war. They used long-range missiles and drones, which Pakistan struggled to intercept. Indian Air Force Wing Commander Vyomika Singh said the strikes caused no collateral damage due to their precision capability. Meanwhile, when Pakistan retaliated with drones and missiles, India's air defenses, including the S-400 system, Akash, and Barak-8, shot down many of them. Hindustan Times reported that India downed over 50 Pakistani drones by May 9. Pakistan's drone and missile attacks caused minor damage in Jammu and Punjab, but failed to hit any major Indian military sites like air bases or command centers. Even Pakistani jets failed to cross the Indian border. Pakistani jets were prevented from entering Indian airspace, and a few of the Pakistani fighter jets were intercepted, with the wreckage found outside Indian borders on May 9. On the other hand, on May 9, the Indian Armed Forces conducted multiple airstrike operations targeting Pakistani military installations. In these strikes, India successfully demolished more than 6 major Pakistani military installations. The first one was PAF base Nur Khan, which is just 10 kilometers away from the capital of Pakistan, Islamabad. Another was PAF base Bolari, located less than 160 kilometers from Karachi, the largest city in Pakistan. Additionally, PAF base Musharraf, formerly known as Sargodha Air Base, located in Punjab province, was targeted. The strikes also hit the runway at Rahim Yar Khan Airport and Sukur Airport. These strikes were reportedly conducted by the Indian Air Force's Sukhoi 30, MKI fighter jets armed with BrahMos missiles. The New York Times and the Washington Post analyzed before and after satellite images of 6 military air bases in Pakistan, which showed major damage inflicted during the airstrikes. The New York Times also commented that India appeared to have had a clear edge in its targeting of Pakistan's military facilities and airfields. Now, about the Indian jets that Pakistan claimed to have shot down. A French intelligence official told CNN that one Rafale might have been lost, and the New York Times reported that 2 Indian aircraft crashed, though the cause wasn't clear. Local sources in Indian-administered Kashmir told Reuters that 3 jets crashed, with pilots hospitalized, even after 1 month. When Bloomberg asked General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defense Staff of the Indian Armed Forces, about the number of jets India lost, he replied in a manner that implied India had lost some jets. So, if India lost some jets, did it lose the war? The answer is no. India achieved its main objectives. It destroyed key terrorist camps and military targets and sent a message that terrorism wouldn't be tolerated. If you talk about equipment losses in war, they are common in the past. Look at other wars. Russia lost tanks and jets in Ukraine, but that didn't mean they failed if they met their goals. In World War II, America lost ships and planes, yet they won because they achieved their objectives. Losses happen in war, but they don't decide the winner. India's aim was to crush terrorist camps, and they did it well. Indian Navy officer Captain Shiv Kumar said in Indonesia that they didn't have orders to target Pakistani military personnel initially, only terrorist camps. This restraint might have led to early jet losses due to a misunderstanding of Pakistan's response. But after May 7, India adjusted its tactics and didn't lose more assets, hitting deeper targets with precision. Conclusion. So, who won? Technically, India did. They set out to crush terrorist infrastructure and did it with minimal escalation. Pakistan couldn't defend those camps, and their counterattacks didn't change the outcome. But this isn't just about military wins. The bigger question is whether these strikes will stop terrorism long term. For now, India proved it could hit hard and walk away. What do you think? Did India's strategy make them the clear winner, or is it more complicated? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such videos.